Welcome, Patricia Marshall. Thank you so much for inviting us to your private home in Paris. You are a very important art advisor and art collector as well. You come from a family, and I really like these important families. Your grandfather was a great collector. Your mother had a fantastic eye. You are a fantastic collector, and you've been advising many other people that became good, important collectors after. And your son now is in charge of Christie's in Los Angeles, where you have spent 23 years, which is a very long time. And the Los Angeles art scene may have defined your love for American artists, including Jason Rhodes, Paul McCarthy, and Jim Shaw, and Kevin Durant.
McKelly too.
And McKelly, McCarthy, Jim Shaw, Jason Rhodes, that we will see later in your collection. In 1994, you have joined Eugenio Lopez to build the Jumex Foundation in Mexico City, and you're curating an important show that's going to open apparently this summer in July. That's going to be called Au fil du rasoir. You will tell us more about it later. When you came back to Paris after your Los Angeles time scene, you started to be an advisor to Bernard Arnault for a long time, much before he opened his fantastic and big collection. So you've been, accompanying him to build and choose. So that's your skill, to be near to people, to seek at what they like and what you would like also, and to bring that together to make important and very ambitious projects. First, we are sitting now in your living room, and maybe in your living room you can start, well, talking about yourself, presenting yourself, and because you're in front already of the Los Angeles art scene that's behind you and in front of you, I know.
Yeah.
Maybe you can start with that, and then we'll go around the flat, and everybody will be able to ask questions, and we will go from that. So
what do you want? I speak more as a collector, I think. Yes, I'm an advisor. But in that case, at my house, it's my collections, which is very private, and nothing is for sale. I'm a real collector in the sense that I have I will say, an addiction, because collecting is an addiction. I wish, if you're an alcoholic, you go to AA, but there is no place. And it's true that I started as a collector as minimalism and conceptual art, and I decided to switch because it was not my generations to people who was with the reflections of my generations. Like at the time was Paul McCarthy, McKelly. I was very, I was living in Los Angeles, so I did felt very strongly what they were trying to explain, this critique, very, very strong critique about the society, American society, this violence hidden through everything is beautiful, but we cannot show the violence, everything is prohibited. Sexuality, it's a very Protestant, society, Puritanist society. So I sold my first work was a judge, and I would trade with it like the Egyptians, and I decided to commit to invert myself into the people who are related to my generations and to more. So I wanted to show you first. So like I work as a collector, it's like writing a book. Or writing, I always say the same things, is like writing a song. Like you put notes together and I feel the sound of the music, and it's like, when I see a work, immediately I feel it's, yes, I have to own it to a certain amount of money, sure, but I have to own it because it will go well with the rest of my collections. So in that case, so every year we reinstall the work. I repaint, it's a huge commitment. What I wanted to say, when you are a collector, it's a huge commitment. It's like you have to support the artist and collect in depth. So in that case, we try to, I wanted to show the violence. So all the people here are very politically engaged in violence. So Paul McCartney, example, it's a very loud violence showing the American, it's a very masculine violence, pornography, sperm, and all this hidden through the symbol of America, cartoon, innocent, the dwarf from Snow White. Here you have John Giorno. We use text, and it's also using text, but I don't really read it, but you feel the violence coming out of the text. And here you have Mike Kelly, who looks very sweet, but it's not sweet at all. He expressed, Mike Kelly has been very influential in my collections. It's really Mike Kelly, Paul McCartney are the two artists who are really the soul of the collections. I will say, la colonne vertébrale. In the sense, it's a very silent violence. It does not express, it's not as direct as Paul McCartney is. He speaks more, it's a more introactive.
But you have met all these artists in Los
Angeles. Yes, but you know, the point for me, I do meet them, but I don't like to meet the artists. I like to meet the artists once I really digest the work, I am sure about the work, I am committed to the work, and what I always say, I like to know the gallery, because I think, and I read this from this really great collector, Panza, who gave his collections to Mocha. He said the artist does not even know what it is about. I mean, they know because they know, but they don't know how to express. If you knew Machiavelli, I mean, he was very, you know, was very violent in his words. He was very angry. He was not someone pleasant, you know, expressing. It was very complicated. So you have to be, I think, very comfortable with the work and be sure of there is no, you know, I mean, it's really not, but it's so important, the gallery. The gallery are the one who really support the artist, understand the work, and they are in between the viewer and the artist and can express. This is Anne Klimov, who comes from dancing, from the dance performance. So I don't know what, you know, I like artists who are very involved with performance, and it's also about violence. She had a room door about 3 years ago in Venice, and it's also very violent because it could be keys, scratch on the car. So here you have Jason Rhodes, who was a student of Paul McCartney. And
we did not hear you well. I think that's Jason Rhodes.
Jason Rhodes.
Yes.
Yeah,
also an artist from the same generation of.
No, much younger.
Oh yeah, he's much younger, of course. Yes.
He died very early at the age of 41. He was a student of Paul McCartney. Did a lot of work with him, but it shows surconsommation. You know, the consummation. And it was at the border between Mexico and, you know, Los Angeles. And the Mexicans are very love America. They are amazed by America. But what he wanted to show is America is pouring all their, you know, product and really creating pollutions in Mexico. So that is also very violent. Here, another artist who comes from the Viennese actionist, France West, who the work is also in the movement. The work exists when the viewer is playing and dancing and making some action. The work does not exist until the viewer is using the work. And you have this Japanese artist, his name is Nitaro. And he came from Japan, he went to Italy and was very close to So this is this room. So you and my because all my collections, I don't know if I told you, but my collection is about time, sociological, and political. And time is what we are about. The second we are born, we run after the time. So we don't know what the time is today, we don't know the date. And this is an artist who's been really, for me, very influential in my, time is important. And this is the strongest piece, and I think run the room. It's like the chef d'orchestre of the room. And it's a day, it's a night, and it comes in a box. As you know, it's on Kawara. It's named, and it's been doing in the 60s, always the same work, repetition. Depending where he is at the time, the date will be in Mexico, will be in Spanish, if it's in America, it's in English, so whatever. And it comes in a box with a newspaper to remember what happened that day. So, so now, and here is Michia Cantor. Is also, it's an artist who is also performance, who play a lot with performance. In that case, it's Cielo Variable is very political in the sense it's about, the politics goes up and down, so up to date, and it's made with candles. It came here. So I do invite also artists to make works into my apartment. Every year we repaint the whole apartment and we change everything. So it's a real commitment. I invited Nicola Party to make something. So I use my apartment. As you can see, there is not much furniture, but as a work for my collections and for the artists. And I never buy for the space or but it's so next year it will be different. So here we work. So this is church from France West, which also is very important. He started making works in 1980, and they are also part of his work in the sense that you can use them, sit on them. They are social entertainment.
Yes, they are part of his installations.
No, it's not an installation. You buy them individually.
No, but the chairs, the chairs sometimes are part of.
But there are extensions of his work. Like you can use the work as it's. You can play with the work. It's not like a study, a sculpture. It's in movement all the time. So here we make like an accrochage with lines. So you have France Herald Water, which is also like France West, same age about who also the work, you have to play with the work, it's an extension of the body. And it's text, because I love artists who work with words. So it's blank text, so it's a block of text. And here, you have the artist you should be. You had a very nice exhibition at the Camden Art Center.
Yes, actually,
Christo Doulos.
We went with the club to see the exhibition at the Camden Art Center. That was the exhibition. Yes.
So he's from Cyprus, and in Cyprus, the banks went bankrupt, and from something totally tragic, which I like is the ongoing process and what it which a relationship with life. When it's tragic, something very good will come. So he took the girl and 200 and 100 euros in that matters and made a beautiful painting. So he did also something with the clothes of his mother. He took the clothes of his mother and made leather shoes. So he just speaking about gender, transformations, evolutions, and all of this. Here you have a Mexican artist, because you know Mexico is quite important. Victor Zamudo with a sculpture, and you know it's like very childhood, you know, with what you have when you are a child, very primitive. Here, a very important artist is Kathleen Karbach. It's also about the memory and the prints of the body, and so she's a Belgian artist. So that's one room. And now you have Routot, Claude Routot, which is an artist from the 70s too. And so the painting on the left has been done in the 70s, and the painting on the right has to be in the color of the wall. So tomorrow it's yellow, it has to be yellow. So it's an ongoing process. It's also about time. It's never ending. So you document the work by sending the work to the artist. So tomorrow it's white, it will be white. So it's, this is Mike Kelly. Mike Kelly, so it's always also, like I told you, it's always violent, but it's very sudden. It's like very silent. So you don't know if it's if there is a hole, but you don't know if it's a bullet or if it's sexual. The mood was very present. He speaks a lot about middle class because he comes from middle class, and he speaks a lot about himself, where he comes from, and memories, and really he's very angry about the American society because totally tied up into religions and you have no way out, and it's very dark, and it's always with these religions, which is like really looks wonderful, but it's scary, you know, Halloween is scary, all this is scary. And so here the wood was very present when he was growing up, and green is from Irish origin, so also green is always very present. This is Lily Kimmel, American, young American, New York, French New York artist. For me, it's more painterly, but there is a movement, and it's for me remind me more like those video games and you know. So it's more organic. There is Gabriel Rico. You should go. There is a show. It's a Mexican artist who mix organic and humans. So it's the relationship between what humans, the neon, and there is a very good show right now at Perotin. You should look at it. It's from Guadalajara in Mexico, and it's very poetic. He is also a lot about mathematics and include always something organic and found object. He collects objects which surround his everyday. But it's very delicate, and I love in works when there is a meeting between fragility and very hard forever, like life, you know, it's the rock is forever. So I like because our life is all about that fragility and strength and you know, I mean, infinity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you repeat the name of the artist again?
Gabriel Rico.
Gabriel Rico.
He's at Perotin right now.
Very poetic.
So here, my bibliothèque. So this is Saint-Germain, who is also very. She's not a photographer. Her media is she's been passionate by stereotype, American stereotype, and she used photography, cinematography, fashion, and she built everything herself, and she created herself in this environment. It's big criticisms about American women in society. So she's been working since the 70s. She was with Robert Longo. She's also, movement, and but her thing is to look at the stereotype, and there is a lot of humor in that work. Here is Petit Bon. Petit Bon, I was living, like you say, in LA. So it's also part of the group, very critical, a lot of critics about Americans. It's quite particular, but it's very funny and very sarcastic, I would say.
Yeah. You have a whole lot of them here. It's a big
90s. It's all 90s. So this is my bedroom. We're not selling the apartment. One bedroom. So I started collecting, like I told you, I was fascinated by time. So Sugimoto was very important at the beginning. Started collecting like every children, at the time we were children, 35, 30. At the 70s, we started, I will say, we got the syndrome of the poupée Barbie in the sense we all collected photography, and we were happy to meet each other and to say, oh, I have a Sugimoto. Sugimoto has been doing a lot of seascapes. I don't know, he found all the seascape in the world. I think he invented on March too. So, but it's a relationship with time. It's taken at the dark, in the night, in the middle, and it goes to the light. So it's a relationship with our life. We go from the dark, and as we get older, we get, white, more clear, and we go through the white.
And it's very quiet now. In your room,
quiet.
very quiet. Yeah.
That's the only room I never sent. So this is Rosemary Trockel, which is quite also a political feminine artist. We speak about the situation of the woman in society. We always put the woman like slowing, and she gives different questions. So her name is Rosemary Trockel. She used the media always tapestry, and also ceramic. That's the two media she used. And here, Franz Gerhard Walter. Franz Gerhard Walter is a German artist, American artist, and I really like from the 70s too. He did this pocket drawing, so it's instant writing. So you put them in your pocket, and he did subway drawing, where you are in the subway and you let himself William Anastasia. Sorry, what is it? William Anastasia. Sorry. I made a mistake. William Anastasia. Tillmans.
Oh, yes, wow.
And if you want, I show you.
Yeah.
If you want a portrait, a real portrait, instead of showing my face, this is what I am really about, because I told you I decided to sell my jade and all minimalism. I come from minimalism, so it's the portrait. This is a poem from Carl André. So he put words like he put the metal on the wall. So it's a poem. Next to it, you have a drawing from Agnès Martin and Laurence Wiener with, Laurence Wiener words become sculpture. So those three artists, and I will put it cool on camera and a drawing of just that it's mixing. But this is what I am about. Yeah. But you have to make a decision in life. You cannot collect everything. So I made that decisions with to
We'll talk about it later because I understood you have 700 pieces in your art collection. So
what? What did you say?
Yeah, I understood that you have 700 pieces in your collection. So I like the sentence. You cannot collect everything.
No, because I don't sell. Even so, I am enough, but I don't sell. It's like I like everything I have. You know, it's important. It's like. So this is when I start collecting. I kept few things. Land Golding was very important for me at the time, '94. So it's I say I never sell, but I did sell my collection of photography to buy Macaulay and France West. Well, it was you know, you don't have all the money. So at one part it's good also. It's healthy to sell because you are. So that's it. And so that is it. So you have to come back next year, and it will be all different.
Yes. I hope that we will be able to come to your once we have this. So you change your collection every FIAC. In October, you change the whole hanging.
Everything.
Yeah, and I understand. I see in your collection that you have a sort of duality. You like minimal art, but also you are very attracted to more vibrant art. Is it?
Also, artists come from minimalisms, you know. Yeah. What I like minimal and conceptuals. What I like, I don't look at the shape or the form. I like the content of the work. And I like when it speaks to each other. You know, when I buy some work, I'm not the biggest intellectual, I'm not going to write essay, but I really feel what there is into the work. I don't understand really what it is, but the content is so strong. It's like, I will say, you feel it, whatever. The physicality is not so important. Here it looks, you know, physicality is maybe will be a chaotic, but just when you come to my house, you feel the symphony, and it's a good, I think it's a good symphony. And it's like putting our notes together. It's, you know, it's a way it talks because they are all talking from the same subjects, you know, violence in that world.
You say that it's important, but you say that it's important that the pieces have they have a connection.
Have a dialogue. It's very important. I feel it, you know, at the small apartment in New York, and I bought Christopher Wool, and it was not small. And every time I was going to an art gallery, I was coming back with the register. I'd say, can you behind my apartment, because I felt it was not the right song. You know, you feel when it does not work. You know, it's the most important. It's not collecting. It's not a question of money. It's the way you put it together, and the work you talk to each other become really take its place and become a real. You know, it's like an orchestra. The music become, you know, that's what is important into the collection. For me, as a collector, I feel it like that. But everything personal.
Yes, no, but we're here to listen to you. So, no, it's very interesting because what, in your opinion, makes a good art advisor? What do you?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. A good art advisor is someone who knows how to say no. First, to be quite honest, you have to say no to yourself if you don't feel the client and you are not able, because an art advisor, we don't know everything. We are not, in my opinion, we are not a personal shopper, you know. Even if you have a personal shopper, you have to run your own taste, you know. But I think you have to, when you test an advisor, you show them a piece very expensive and you know it's not the right piece for your collections. And you know that he or she will make a huge commissions. So you have to test and see, what is the, you have to know how to say no in front of very big collections, commissions. And also you have to say no if you don't feel the client, if you cannot work with the client. You know, there is things I am not able to do, you know, because I don't have the, I mean, I'm not right. No one is right or wrong. There is no right or wrong. It's just a meeting between the collector and the advisor. What you have to do when you meet a client is to teach them, to take them where you like, and to train their eyes without them feeling they are becoming you. You know, when you go to a gallery, you organize everything you want him to see, and at the end, it's like jogging. The person will become about you with some extent, and at the end, these collections, because he chooses, knows, and you have to always teaching them, but in a very silent and very not silent, in a very subtle way. You know, but it's interesting to take them, and there is a lot of research. So we do a lot of research. We know there is an exhibition in Iceland. You know, if someone wants to take me to do a Chinese collections, I have no idea what's happening in China. So you have to be really very honest to yourself, honest to the client, and to know what you want into that collections, you know. And you have to protect the collector. I mean, the person you work for. You are like his bodyguard, because it will be like when you have a big fish, everybody is after him, everybody wants him to buy this, that. So you have to train and to protect the person. You have a little bit, you are like a person who say always, no, 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 no. But
yes,
I wish to be a bodyguard for myself. I am not.
Yeah, you have to use I mean, it takes a lot of time as well, no? That to accompany
it takes a lot of research. It takes a lot of time, and no, it's a wonderful experience, because you become one person, and it's very exciting to look at the work together, to discover the work. You know, every time I go to an art fair, they always tell me, no, there was so many people. I don't even see my own son or my own daughter. I see the work, and I see the person I work for, and I keep thinking about what will be good for his collections, you know, what if it's the right piece, you know, if it's the right things for him. You have to protect him, you know, and be sure that the right decisions. But it's a fun experience. I think it's a very, very interesting experience, and they love it. I mean, they very, very exciting.
And in your opinion, Patricia, because we're here to ask you questions about where the market is going, and where would you see, what are the new aspects of the market that has not been explored, not the new aspects of the art history that has not been really explored and used by the market? In many years ago, it was Italian arte povera. Is it surface? What would you think?
I think right now, unfortunately, I mean, maybe things are going to change. Art was becoming like an Instagram I call the new movement Instagram. Everything on Instagram sells. But art is not about, you know, I mean, give me a Trombley from 1950s. Yeah, we love that. You cannot see anything. They're just fine lines. It's not an Instagram. Good art is not Instagram. Learning is not about Instagram. It's an experience with the work. It's a relationship with the work. It's a knowledge. It's a challenge with yourself. It's not what I always say, mashed potatoes. It's questioning. It's many things. So I don't believe, you know, you have people who are very photogenic, and you have some who are not, and they are very interesting. You know, they have a lot of things to say, and they are fascinating because. So it's a new generation now. They want to do more digital work, showing the work on digital. I mean, you know, when you fall in love with someone, you want to see it in person, you want to touch him or to touch her or to speak and to see the reactions and to have an experience. For me, art is physical. So I need to see, I need to go and see the all, to go to the gallery. I love galleries. I'm not passionate by art fair, so that. But I like to see all the work, go to the gallery, have a discussion with the galleries, and have this interaction experience. It's very, very important for me. And to discover young artists who are usually very challenging, I don't think you find it on Instagram or on digital. It's very complicated for me. But because good art can be not photogenic.
So we have, I see that we have questions coming in. So I'm going to unmute Benedict. Benedict, yes. So Benedict, you have a question for Patricia. Oh, wait, why you unmute? Yeah, Benedict, can you? Yeah.
Yes. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for this talk. I just have a question. First, do you start a collection from scratch for some people, for some collectors? And sometimes, is it if you find that the collector wants to go a completely different way from where your affinity would take you naturally, isn't it too much of a struggle to go there? C'était savoir si le collectionneur veut aller dans une direction complètement différente que vous pensez. Est-ce que
an advisor has to be honest.
Patricia, tu peux répondre en français si tu veux. Je pense que ça va. On va passer en français. Ouais.
Et moi, je pense que c'est là où l'advisor doit être honnête. On ne peut pas conseiller quelque chose dont on ne peut pas défendre, on ne peut pas affirmer et auquel on ne croit pas. Ça s'appelle de la malhonnêteté et de la prostitution. Là. Non, c'est très incorrect. Mais il faut dire qu'on est juste amis, qu'on accompagne, il faut essayer de... Mais là, on ne peut pas travailler ensemble, ça c'est impossible. Impossible. Moi, je trouve...
Mais peut-être qu'il vous emmènerait, que ce collectionneur vous emmènerait justement quelque part outside your comfort zone.
I don't like comfort zone, not. When it's too comfortable, I always question myself. I always like, really, when it's not comfortable. I like the challenge, I like the questions, I like when it's too comfortable. But there is things who are really, it's hurt my eyes, I always say.
Right. And what do you...
Yeah, I'm open to many things. Sure, I am open. I'm listening. I am totally open. Mm-hmm. But I know some work where I am very critical and I don't believe in, and it's impossible for me. Mm-hmm. I know some collections who are On the paper, very expensive, but not for me. But it's, yeah. When people come to me, usually, it's like going to a designer in a way. And you cannot ask Marc Jacob to do Laura Ashley, you see. So I do have, but there is other advisor who are, I'm sure, very good for that, because their approach is about more, they study, I'm sure, they look at the financial, and they are, I'm sure, different approach, different advisor, but I am more radical, I must say. Catherine works with me, always tell me I'm a little bit too radical. I should be more diplomat. So Catherine is very good, because we are few in our advising group. And Catherine is brilliant, and she has another point of view which is excellent. And it's two point of view, but we meet, we are not like drastically different. That's what is wonderful.
I have a question from Alexandra, Alexandra Spies, Turca, that you might know.
Yes, of course. Bonjour Patricia.
Bonjour Alexandra.
Très bien. J'avais une question quand tu as parlé justement des œuvres qui étaient instagrammables. Je voulais avoir ton avis avec toutes ces foires qui deviennent virtuelles. En fait, j'ai l'impression que ce sont les artistes qui vont être visuellement le plus instagrammables qui vont…
Absolument, absolument, absolument. Et en plus, c'est compliqué tu es avec un collectionneur, tu discutes, tu lui donnes, tu vois, tu l'excites, tu parles, tu as un vrai échange. Donc, ça va être très compliqué. Donc, ils sont occupés, est-ce qu'ils ont vraiment besoin? Mais c'est comme au casino quand tu es dans une foire. Tu as l'adrénaline, tu as l'excitation, tu es concentré. Si tu as des hommes d'affaires, tu veux leur envoyer 10 visuals, ils vont dire oui, bon, voilà, est-ce que j'ai besoin? Stock market est en haut, en bas. Là, il n'y a plus, quand on est avec des gens qui veulent acheter, il n'y a plus le stock market, le ci, le ça, ils le veulent, comme moi aussi, comme tous les collectionneurs, il n'y a plus rien, on nourrit plus les enfants, plus rien ne compte. Donc, il va y avoir ce manque d'excitation, donc ça va être complètement différent, ça va peut-être attirer plus de monde, il y a sûrement quelque chose de très positif qui va sortir, mais ça va être plus rapide, c'est une autre société.
Oui, et tous les artistes.
Il n'y a pas d'être négatif, mais à mon avis, tout de même là, c'est une chose physique et sensuelle.
Ouais.
Il y a plein de choses, on ne peut pas voir les autres choses, et puis on n'a pas le temps je sais pas, c'est compliqué. Ouais. J'espère que ça va rester juste un petit moment. Peut-être qu'il y aura, mais ce qui n'est pas si mal, c'est d'avoir moins de fois. C'était trop de pression pour les artistes, trop de pression pour les galeries. Et puis, voilà. Donc, sûrement, il n'y a que des choses positives qui vont sortir de ça.
Oui. Patricia, je vais Véronique, tu nous entends? Véronique Park?
Oui, je vous entends.
Je vais donner la parole à Véronique Park qui est dans le Wyoming et qui fait des résidences d'artistes dans sa maison, sa propriété en Charente. Et donc, oui, je trouvais intéressant que, voilà, dans la mesure où qu'il y a un dialogue entre vous deux. Donc, je me disais, Véronique, peut-être une petite question comme ça à poser.
Tu me prends de court un petit peu là, d'autant que je sors d'un board meeting de Outset qui a démarré à 6h30 du matin pour moi, donc il n'est que 9h, j'en suis à mon 4e café. Non, j'ai trouvé passionnant, je trouve la collection merveilleuse, je rêve de...
C'est gentil, merci, ça me touche beaucoup. Oui.
Non, je trouve très intéressant ce que vous dites sur la relation avec un art advisor, parce que c'est vrai que c'est compliqué cette relation, parce qu'il y a un moment où le collectionneur devient plus actif, parce que forcément, avec un peu de chance, le collectionneur s'intéresse beaucoup et apprend. Et
Ouais.
ce que je trouve intéressant, c'est ce moment où la relation...
L'amour, ça n'a qu'une très short durée. Ça a duré, moi, je sais pas, je pense que c'est 10 ans à peu près. Parce que pour d'autres raisons, bon, j'ai la même relation depuis 94 avec René Lopez, mais on est plusieurs cuisiniers dans la cuisine, donc la collection est plus la même qu'au début. Mais je pense que c'est 10 ans à peu près.
Oui,
c'est la même histoire. Oui, dites-moi.
non, non, je m'intéresse aussi. C'est vrai, a priori, les gens que vous rencontrez et avec lesquels vous formez une vraie relation et une collection importante. Donc, ça dure 10 ans. Est-ce que vous voyez des gens évoluer vraiment dans leur... Enfin, je ne sais pas si vous avez le knowledge de ce qui se passe dans leur collection ensuite, mais...
Ben, je ne sais pas pourquoi ils s'arrêtent généralement. Parce que, je ne sais pas, on a un truc tellement fusionnel, ça ne les amuse plus. Je ne sais pas, je n'ai jamais entendu qu'ils continuent après. Ils ne sont pas aussi accros que moi, parce que moi, je dois être insoignable. C'est le jour où je serai morte. Et si je mens, alors là, c'est l'horreur. Je connais, mais ça ne doit pas. C'est moi qui les excite tout le temps, et puis après, je sais pas, j'ai jamais. Non, ils vendent, ils essayent de faire eux-mêmes, ils sont un peu arnaqués, et puis ils passent à autre chose. J'ai pas d'expérience où ils ont continué vraiment. Non, c'est bizarre. Ça ne devait peut-être pas être des accros comme moi. C'est pas que je me gère des accros. Je leur dis toujours que je fais pas de dealer. Donc voilà. Donc ils n'ont plus de dealer, ils se sont soignés avant. Moi, non, insoignable. Mais tout de même, hein, c'est pas la même chose qu'avant. Pas du tout. Beaucoup plus rigolo. Oui. Et vous collectionnez?
un petit peu, oui.
Ah, et vous invitez les artistes?
Oui, récemment, parce qu'en fait, je ne vis pas vraiment en France, mais je me suis retrouvée avec cette maison en France avec laquelle je voulais donner un sens, et c'est comme ça que je me suis retrouvée à installer dans une partie des dépendances une résidence d'artiste. Oui.
Ah, ça c'est pas
voilà, ça se passe bien.
Et, et votre collection, c'est américaine
C'est très varié. Ça a commencé surtout beaucoup avec Processed Works et puis après, maintenant, ça part un petit peu beaucoup, pas mal de dessins de sculpteurs parce que j'avais pas vraiment la place pendant longtemps d'avoir des sculptures et voilà, ça évolue lentement.
Ouais. Je voulais donner la parole aussi à Alexandra qui est à Buenos Aires, hein, qui elle aussi a collectionné les artistes argentins que vous allez bientôt voir. Et je pense que voilà, il y a quelque chose dans le fait est-ce qu'il faut avoir un focus dans une collection, est-ce qu'il faut avoir un fil directeur, une ligne? Alexandra, je te laisse la parole.
D'abord, Patricia, merci. J'avais eu la chance de venir visiter ta collection il y a quelques années à Paris et ce que tu nous as montré, et surtout comme tu en parles, c'est merveilleux. Je crois qu'il y a énormément de différentes manières de collectionner. Dans mon cas, ça a été vraiment en fait une rencontre avec une scène. Et par rapport à ce que disait Patricia, ça a été dans mon cas, en tout cas à Buenos Aires, une scène qui a peu de marché à l'époque, qui avait beaucoup peu de marché, qui avait surtout une scène très riche en artistes qui sont reconnus aujourd'hui, on pourrait dire beaucoup plus par les commissaires internationaux, mais à l'époque, il y avait cette liberté. Ça a été une rencontre avec une scène, contrairement à Patricia, où ça a été en fait d'abord connaître les artistes, mais pas pour acheter d'abord. Justement, après, c'est toujours l'œuvre d'abord. Et donc, dans mon cas, c'est une collection qui est un peu un snapshot qui est devenu soi-disant historique maintenant, d'une période avec des artistes contemporains de ma génération et plus jeunes, et qui, au regard des années, est devenu quelque chose qui est très représentatif en termes de qualité des œuvres et des artistes de 15 ans d'une scène à Buenos Aires. Et l'excitation, mais sans le savoir sur le moment, que les artistes choisis à l'époque n'étaient pas repérés ni par les musées, ni par… c'était des relations. Et après, bien sûr, le choix des œuvres, c'est toujours l'œuvre qui prime, hein, comme disait Patricia. Donc voilà, donc je crois qu'il y a, et j'ai connu beaucoup de collectionneurs différents. J'ai eu la chance d'être très proche de Georges Elf, qui a une collection extraordinaire des années 60 à Argentine, mais qui était petit-fils d'un des marchands de Picasso et qui a vendu sa collection d'art moderne pour créer une collection argentine. Donc je crois qu'il y a différentes manières de collectionner. Que je partage totalement avec Patricia, c'est que c'est l'œuvre d'abord et que finalement un collectionneur, c'est créer une symphonie autour
de sa propre musique. Chacun crée. Mais je suis sûre qu'il y a une relation. Cette année, c'était l'année de l'Argentine à Arco. T'es venue?
Oui. Non, c'était pas cette année, c'était il y a 2 ans. Oui, j'étais venue cette année aussi. Et tu y as été ou pas? J'aimerais beaucoup.
Oui. C'était formidable. Oui. Mais moi je travaille au Mexique, alors donc il y a une vraie. C'est le même esprit, c'est sur la philosophie, c'est sur l'objet. C'est assez conceptuel.
Ouais. En Argentine, elle est moins qu'au Mexique. Tu verras d'ailleurs si tu participes, tu viens regarder ce que j'ai. Il y a un côté, en fait, elle est différente du Brésil. Il y a cette espèce de relation littéraire. Enfin, elle est moins sur la société, elle est plus sur le rêve. Elle est quand même assez différente de la scène mexicaine et brésilienne. Il y a bien sûr des points de contact, hein, évidemment. Mais disons qu'elle est un peu différente, je dirais. Parce que, dû à mon avis au lien et à une espèce de lien très spécifique avec l'Europe et de mélancolie.
Patricia, je pense qu'en fait, cette intervention nous mène aussi en quelque sorte au questionnement sur la façon dont on collectionne des artistes émergents. Quelle est ta position en fait là-dessus?
Ça, j'adore. Ça, c'est mon… j'adore parce que j'adore découvrir. Et ensuite, je ne sais pas si c'est collectionneur ou conseillère, j'essaie de supporter l'artiste et je fais tout le travail en silence parce que je trouve qu'on reçoit beaucoup derrière les galeries. C'est-à-dire que, tu vois, je reçois l'artiste quand il fait une exposition à Paris ou s'il vient au Mexique. J'essaie de le mettre j'ai eu la possibilité de travailler pour deux institutions. Donc, je le place dans des institutions. Parfois, si j'ai les moyens, j'offre l'œuvre dans des musées, certains musées. Et j'adore communiquer le travail. Et découvrir les artistes, en fait, c'est ça qui m'intéresse. Parce que tu es témoin de ta génération, tu es témoin du temps et de la société dans laquelle on vit. Et c'est la chose la plus grisante pour moi dans l'art, c'est la jeune génération. Ça, c'est… Pour moi, c'est facile d'acheter les années 60. Voilà. C'est juste de savoir quel est le bel objet. C'est juste un choix. Et là c'est vraiment un vrai commitment et un engagement. Un risque, surtout un risque. Mais j'adore.
Patricia, on a une question de Sophie Nguyen qui se… Voilà, attends, je vais là. Voilà.
Bonjour Patricia, merci beaucoup pour cette présentation fascinante. J'ai une question par rapport à comment on devient le passage entre collectionneur et en fait montrer sa collection au public.
En fait, oui, comment, donc pour l'instant, vous avez une collection que vous changez tous les ans. Donc, ça veut dire qu'il y a tout un travail de curating tous les ans, de choix.
Ouais, non, mais je ne montre pas au public, hein, je montre que à mes amis.
Tout à fait. Et est-ce
Ah, c'est très privé. Hein. Je montre à mes amis. Hein. Je ne montre absolument pas au public.
Et est-ce que justement, il n'y a pas un désir à un moment donné de…
Non, non, moi, non, personnellement, non. Ça, je sais, on me l'a demandé plusieurs fois. Non. Pour être critiqué, non. Non. Et puis, c'est pas… J'ai des installations, moi, je suis engagée dans des choses complètement folles, des installations que je n'aurais jamais brisées. Mais non, ça, je ne veux absolument pas. J'ai pas. Chacun, je veux que ça reste assez privé. Je suis prête à recevoir qui veut venir, tous les étrangers. On reçoit des guides du musée. Oui, c'est mieux de rester privé. C'est pas important.
Ouais. Avant de terminer, parce que c'est vrai que l'heure tourne, on n'a pas vu passer le temps, je voulais remercier Ariel Léopold qui a eu cette idée de faire cette visite. Ariel qui connaît très bien Patricia. Ariel, est-ce que tu as une question que tu voudrais partager sur la personnalité de Patricia et la façon dont elle agit dans son consulting, parce que c'est assez intéressant.
C'est sa vie, c'est sa personnalité, sa vie, son métier, c'est une seule chose, une seule entité. Et c'est très, très fort.
Et c'est très fort, oui.
Très fort, très, très fort.
Donc, la dernière chose que je vais te demander, Patricia, puisqu'on est sur le thème du fort, et je vois que le titre de ta prochaine exposition couleurs au fil du rasoir. Est-ce que tu peux nous en dire quelques mots avant qu'on s'envole tous pour Mexico?
Parce qu'en fait, là, pour moi, c'est une relation avec la vie. Je ne savais pas qu'on allait avoir cette tragédie. Mais c'est vrai que l'orientation de la collection est très conceptuelle, avec des œuvres américaines qui rencontrent les œuvres latino-américaines. Et c'est surtout qui parle de la vie, de la fragilité. Je voulais commencer la collection avec Jackie Kennedy. Je ne pense pas à cause des transports. Donc les choses peuvent changer d'un jour à l'autre. Et toute notre vie, c'est pour ça que Ankawara est très important pour moi, parce que le temps n'existe pas, mais on est obsédé par le temps. Et cette fragilité, un jour, la mort, la gaieté, les joies, les faillites financiers, toute notre vie est faite et sur le fil du rasoir. Et c'était pour ça que je voulais faire cette exposition. Donc c'est tout à fait… Et l'art est toujours, en fait, précurseur des choses qui vont arriver là.
Ouais.
Donc, al filo de la Navarra, c'est ça, en espagnol.
Ouais. Ah, oui.
Donc, il faut que vous veniez, parce qu'en novembre, on va faire une grande fête. Donc, si vous voulez venir au Mexique, je serai là.
Ah oui, avec plaisir, avec plaisir. Avant d'aller au Mexique, on va te remercier vraiment pour tout ce temps passé avec nous. On peut rester des heures à parler de la collection et à parler d'art. Et peut-être qu'on va demander à Arthur de nous montrer la vue de Paris. Montrer la vue de Paris, parce que là, nous, en tout cas, moi, je suis un peu en manque.
C'est plus beau chez Arthur.
Ah ouais, ah, le bonheur. Le bonheur. Ah oui. C'est bien, on entend le klaxon. La vie a repris à Paris.
Bon. Merci beaucoup.
Merci Patricia. Merci encore. On va terminer avec voilà, cette vue sur Jason Rhodes que j'aime particulièrement et qui est.
Voilà, j'avais acheté ça en 2001.
On parlait des artistes forts qui se droguaient, qui buvaient de l'alcool. Pour lui, le pauvre, il en est mort. Mais voilà, il y avait peut-être quelque chose d'un peu plus violent qui sortait un peu du marché de spéculation.
Un fils de Dieter Roth, je ne sais pas si vous connaissez l'artiste Dieter Roth.